Joining us for a little bit is Shreveport businessman and now former mayoral candidate Leo Savage. Hey, Mr. Leo, welcome back to KEEL. How you doing this morning?
I am phenomenal. How are you?
You know, we were talking the other evening, and as I was interviewing you, it was before the results started to come in, and we were talking a little bit about the campaign, this, that, or the other, and the one thing that what popped into my head that I did not mention to you was, through the course of the campaign, as much hard work and time and effort as it was, you seemed all along to be having the time of your life. I'm not wrong, am I?
No, you're not. I really enjoyed the whole process. It was absolutely probably the hardest I have ever worked in my life, you know, having a full-time job, and that ended up being a full-time job, you know, getting home about 10:30 every night. You know, I met some incredible, very influential individuals that can help me throughout my life, and I think can help me through a lot of the processes in which I feel that we uncovered a lot of the issues going wrong with Shreveport right now, and I think that we can continue on the path to help remedy those situations.
For all of that effort and time and sweat equity that you put into that campaign, what do you take away from that? How does that make you better? Can you explain that a little bit to us?
Oh, sure. I really feel that the whole process, again, it was an education. It was very enlightening. It also, I've learned some things I never knew before, especially with some of the bad things I found out. But I really think that it made me a better person just because of the process.
Pardon me, do you come away?
Process, it was everything.
Do you come away from this? You said I found a lot of bad things, but you taught. Do you come away from this more encouraged or discouraged?
Well, both. Can I say that?
Sure.
You know, I've always been very straightforward with my answers. You know, so I hate to say both, but I feel encouraged to the fact of I met so many people who were as adamant about moving the city forward as I am. And when I say that, I mean, I met some of the people who have already won the council seats, school board seats, some of them who are in the runoff right now, who I greatly admire. I got to meet every one of the candidates that, you know, we sat in on these forums, and so many times we had good conversations. I had the opportunity to have lunch with several of them throughout this time. I got to know some of them better. That, you know, Jim I had already known and got to know him a little bit better. On the downside of it, the underworkings inside the city, I always suspected there was corruption, but what we actually uncovered was so much deeper than what I ever thought. And I also learned that what some people really see as corruption, they think that, you know, I'll give you this contract if you'll give me a car, you know, and that's corruption. But what they really don't understand is that we're paying for the car.
Okay,
they upped that contract.
Leo Savage, let me ask you this. You've got a constituency now. You've got a base. What are you advising those folks to do now? What are you going to do now? Who's your guy in the race?
Well, I will tell you that I have made it very clear that I don't have anybody that I'm endorsing currently. However, I'm meeting with Adrian today. He called me yesterday, and we spoke for a while and text back and forth. And again, we are meeting today. And you know, he asked me. He said, you know, what part of your platform do you want me to take? And I said, all of it.
So what are you looking to hear today? Okay, you're gonna talk to Adrian today. What do you want to hear? What are you looking for?
Well, you know, there's things that I had always had a little suspicious feelings of with Adrian, and I need those clarified. And
like what?
You know,
Like what? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, you're
well,
going Greg Tarver on me
I
here?
don't mind, because I will tell Adrian the same thing, you know, when we sit and talk. I mean, Adrian has a lot of money behind him, and I don't want him to I cannot endorse somebody who's going to be a puppet. Not that I think he's going to be a puppet. I need to see it and hear it from his mouth and to understand what Adrian feels. And he's got to convince me that he's going to think on his own, and he's going to surround himself with people who are going to help him, not control him. That's what I'm looking for.
Would it be fair to assume on my part that the fact that you challenged Mayor Tyler to begin with leads me to believe that you might be leaning more toward Adrian just because of your initial running against Ollie? Is that wrong? Am I off base here?
You're not off base. I mean, you know, it's very clear that, and I never really attacked Mayor Tyler, but I did attack what was going on with, you know, during her administration, and the things that I felt that she neglected. I think that she overlooked. I think that she was living in a pipe dream of thinking that the city was doing better. And, you know, but if I sat down with her and she could convince me that the things that we have identified, this is what she's going to do to correct them, you know, it's possible I could endorse her, but both of them have got to truly convince me that 100%, without doubt, that person is best for the city.
So you will meet with her if she calls you? You haven't heard from her, though?
I have not. She did not call me, although I spoke with a couple of people yesterday, and they had alluded to the fact that she would be reaching out to me. But, you know, and when she does, we'll set up an appointment just like Adrian and I have, and we'll sit down and talk. You know, our city is in trouble, and it's the reason I ran. I mean, I don't think you would see that many people, 10 initially, that were going to run for mayor. I don't think you would see that many people running if everything was going right.
Could you do it again in 4 years, Leo?
Or is politics in your rear view mirror?
That's a great question, both. I will tell you that in 4 years, would I look to do this again? I don't honestly think so. It's not totally out of the realm of a possibility. I won't say that. It kind of depends on what's going on in the future. You know, right now I've got to look at everything, and I know that I started out, and, you know, Robert, you know, we talked a little bit about this the other night. You know, I was a virtual unknown in the political arena, and, you know, I don't want to be a politician. That's just not me. You know, I just wanted to cure the ills, but, you know, I don't, if there's something that I could do within our city that would still positively impact it, I would do it.